Hey, welcome to the Danger Zone. It's Ashley. All pictures in my video were found on a public domain, and my full disclaimer is down below. Lots of love and many blessings your way. Okay, you guys, from the jump, Trump's name was brought into Harry and Meghan's relationship. Do you remember this? Her dad poked out and said, "Oh, Harry told me to give Trump a chance." Looking back, you know that's not true. Harry's not at all for Trump. He's more of the Obamas and the Clintons. Those are who he runs with. He's all about dogging down Trump. He and Meghan both. She's talked some nasty garbage about Trump. She said that he was a complete misogynist. She made so many implications, one being that he was a womanizing pig. She didn't know whether or not he had a moral compass. I find that a hilarious statement for her to make. She also said that if he ever became president, that would be the day that she packed up and moved to Canada and wouldn't be returning until he was out of office. And when he came for a state visit to meet up with the Queen, she deliberately snubbed him by not showing up. This was even at the request of the royal family. The Queen had asked her to please show up. So she had to sit it out. She's all about making big statements. After all, she's an empowered female, remember? And she and her buddies are always planting things out in the media, just like she did with this article titled, "Meghan Markle and the Royal Family Hate Donald Trump." That's so classy, don't you think? And she gives these pictures and they put up the labels as to why they all hate him. I'm going to tell you guys something on a personal level. I have not liked several of the presidents in my lifetime. But I can tell you right now, even when Bill Clinton did what he did with Monica, I never said a disrespectful word about him. Never, not once. I might have had a personal thought about it, but I kept it to myself. And by all of these celebrities coming out dogging down Trump, man, that makes this country look weak. She and Harry have showed their tail royally. Pun intended. Let me share with you guys some inside information. This didn't come from my buddy Jay, and it didn't come from my sibling, who happens to be a journalist turned producer. The Obamas have been the one advising her as to how to go about it, how to petition our president for tax-funded security. It's called diplomatic funding. Now, wouldn't she have to be someone that's, like, in politics, a diplomat? Who is she? They're not even royals as of 48 hours from now. And I have to tell you guys, I am not that political, but I am right now at this moment extremely proud of President Donald Trump. He said it in such a tactful way, because had it been me, oh boy. He said, "I'm a great friend and admirer of the Queen in the United Kingdom. It was reported that Harry and Meghan, who left the kingdom, would reside permanently in Canada. Now they have left Canada for the United States. However, the United States will not pay for their security protection. They must pay." I appreciate that most definitely. You hear me? Because like so many of y'all out there, I no longer have a job. And even though it has been extended until July, I still have to pay taxes. And if I were to even hear that my tax dollars that I don't even have was paying any part of their anything, I'm not lying, y'all. I wouldn't pay any more taxes. I'd tell them to go ahead and check me into federal prison. That's how serious I am not trying to pay their security, or anything for that matter. I would gladly pay my taxes for the study of dung beetles, or for politicians to take juggling lessons, before I would pay 1 cent out of my jug of change towards them. Listen, I can tell you this because I am so nosy. I wanted to know who she was. I wanted to know who her mother was. And I can tell you for a fact, her mother's net worth before they were married was next to nothing. And now she's a millionaire. She's driving around in a brand new car. Her life is super simple, super easy. Didn't have to pay for the house she's in. Maybe Doria can take some of those millions that Meghan has slid into her pocket and pay for the security. How about that? Meghan is going to come back hardcore, and the stuff she's going to say about Trump is going to be some nasty funk. But she better watch it. It seems like all these people dogging him down aren't feeling too good these days. Let's talk about Harry really fast. You know, he recently came out and gave his side of the story, quote unquote. Let's talk about his side real fast. He says he's always dreamt of being an average Joe, running normal household errands, doing normal household duties. Growing up so privileged had their downfalls. He felt over-scrutinized. He was always in the spotlight. He just doesn't want that for his child. He goes on and talks about how absolutely unfair and nasty they treated Meghan, the family that is. She was never accepted. Never has she been accepted in the family. Oh, I can't even believe he said such a dumb thing. Aside from this ridiculous, over-the-top, tens of millions of dollars from taxpayer money spent on their wedding, Charles increased her wardrobe allowance $3.3 million during her quote-unquote pregnancy and $1.5 million prior to that. She attacked the entire family one by one, starting with the youngest to the oldest. Speaking of security, hey taxpayers, did you guys know this? Y'all flipped the bill for her security while they were dating. You have to wonder, what is Harry missing here? What is he not seeing? The royal family have absolutely bent over backwards, from my perspective, to suit her needs. I know exactly where the royal family are coming from. I can speak from experience. We have one in my family, trust me. Just as bad, maybe even worse. Listen, I am not joking. If I told you guys a fifth of what my family's gone through because of this person, your jaw would hit the ground. And if we try to call a family meeting and say, hey, look, this has happened, this is going on, what's got to change is this. A loved one will turn it around to make us look guilty. In all reality, we're the victims. So I know exactly what the royal family has gone through with this woman. Trust and believe, I'm telling the truth. It's so puzzling to us. We all sit back scratching our heads. Getting back on track. So he wants to be this average Joe. He wants to do average Joe things. Average Joes go to work and pay their own bills. So go out there and get you a little jobby job if you can find one. And pay your own security. Problem solved. I'll see you soon and we'll talk fast. Y'all stay safe and be blessed.